another thing that's fascinating to me, and I know this is a certainly an expertise area for you, but part of what's unique about our partnership with Baptist World Alliance, some of our other mission partners involve our supporting missionaries, largely North Americans, to go to parts of the world to build fellowship, share the gospel, etc. But Baptist World Alliance seems to be a little bit more of a unique partnership where our mission is helping to uplift, encourage, and be in friendship, be in partnership with indigenous Baptists around the globe. We're not exporting our faith, as if we could do that anyway. But we're building up the body of Christ where it already is. Is that a good way to put it, or might you put it a little differently?
Oh, absolutely. I think that's exactly right. I mean, the Baptist World Alliance is about celebrating a global family and then empowering those global families to face the challenges that they face wherever that happens to be. In some areas, that's addressing issues of hunger. In other areas, that's religious persecution. In other areas, that's apathy and self-centeredness. But we all have an opportunity to listen, to learn, and to grow alongside one another in this incredible transformative gospel that we've been given through the person of Jesus Christ.
I really appreciate your sharing that and love the good work of Baptist World Alliance. And I want to speak maybe now to a lot of what is probably taking your time, and that is the worldwide COVID-19 crisis and how it's affecting our world. But in particular to your work, I should say our work, our work together, how is this affecting the Baptists with whom you work, and how might BWA be responding to this crisis?
In 1918, many of us will know that a Spanish flu swept through the world and really devastated many communities. In 1919, the Baptist World Alliance came together to seek to form a response to this worldwide pandemic, and they asked for a global offering, and a great generous fund came together. And in 1920, the Baptist World Alliance gave their very first aid gift. So founded in 1905, the first aid gift went out in 1920. Here we are 100 years later in 2020, and a global pandemic is sweeping the world, devastating communities and countries alike. And in this 100th year anniversary of Baptist World Aid, what a powerful moment to stand together as a family. In mid-March, the BWA launched a major initiative called the Standing Together Global Response Plan. It's a comprehensive and holistic plan to address needs all around the world, but let me focus just on one element, which is the aid element. And there's several ways we can think about it, but the BWA immediately made available an emergency grant to all 240 Baptist conventions and unions around the world, knowing that they are facing really pressing issues. And in the last 8 weeks, the BWA has sent more aid grants in these last 8 weeks than at any other point in our 100 history of giving aid around the world. In the last 8 weeks, the BWA has sent emergency grants to 80 different countries. We've sent 130 different grants that will impact over 130,000 people all around the world. And it's just such a humbling opportunity to know that we have sent grants literally from Armenia to Zimbabwe. There have been grants all over the world. And I would say roughly what's been shocking and insightful, Daniel, is that somewhere over 70% of the emergency grants that we have sent have gone to face hunger issues. There are so many pressing hunger needs around the world during this time. And they've gone from Honduras, where they asked for support to feed the staff members of the convention union themselves, to Panama, who asked for hunger relief so that they could keep home missionaries on the field, to communities in Bangladesh, where they asked for assistance to reach out to the most vulnerable inside their community. We were visiting with one of our partners in Bangladesh, and he noted that social distancing is simply not possible in their country. He said that in some of our more urban poverty-stricken areas, a family, a single water tap will be shared by 25 to 30 families. And so this Baptist convention in Bangladesh has used this emergency grant along with some other money that they were able to raise to build over 200 hand washing stations on the outside of their churches so that anybody in the community would be able to come alongside and find a place to receive a little bit of help and to clean their hands and to work to address this hygienic issue. They also at the same time created a hotline that they staffed by 6 Baptist doctors who are volunteering along with several other support staff so that they would have a 24/7 hotline that anyone in Bangladesh can call in and receive medical advice from a trained doctor and have an idea about how to move forward. I think about Baptists in Africa who've bought personal protective equipment and medical supplies to give into areas where there is no community health care at all. One of those Baptists in Zimbabwe sent us pictures of a local Baptist hospital where they took us on a tour through their facilities, and the beds that they had did not even have mattresses on them. They were just springs. And so they're using their emergency grant to help facilitate the work of that hospital who's providing care for any and all who may come along and who may need help. So it's been an exciting time. It's been a busy time, as you might imagine, in the last 8 weeks, trying to facilitate 129 different grants, every one of them to a different bank accounts and a different context, and some countries needing additional paperwork to process that through, but an absolute joy to stand together with our Baptists around the world.
Well, thank you for sharing that, Elijah.